This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Putting our best foot forward, we show the world Korea's true beauty. As with everything, it started with something small. Keeping Korea close to the hearts of people across the world. This is what we do. Korea and how it moves within is something we're proud to be a part of. Promoting and exchanging Korean cultural values with the world. Some of us imagine a picture of Korea within ourselves, and in that landscape, a beautiful flower blossoms. It is in that moment that we truly exist. Through means of communication and personal exchange, these flowers spread their seeds across the globe as Korea blossoms further and stirs others deep within. Production and promotion of contents introducing Korea. And some of us dream of Korea, dreams of happy moments. And it is for these moments we exist. Though we may be far apart, our hearts are always within reach. Korea will always embrace you like a true friend.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Global Village. I'm your host, Buddy Kunan. Now, you know, guys, in this show, we take you around the world and you get to see fantastic places, meet interesting people. And tonight, we're focusing on Korea, which is a very ancient civilization, very ancient culture. And Korea has become a global powerhouse when it comes to the arts and culture. And you know, they have so many genres that have become wildly popular in every country in the world. And tonight we're going to talk about Philippine-Korean relations, cultural relations, and we're going to talk about Korean culture and arts and heritage. And joining us is none other than the director of the Korean Cultural Center in Manila, Mr. Lee Junchul. Good evening, sir. How are you?
How are you? Fine.
And it's such a pleasure to have you here, Mr. Lee, because you know, Korea is, as I mentioned in my opening spiel, really from your ancient and traditional culture to all your modern cultural exports to the world. It really is a cultural powerhouse.
Thank you for your appreciation. I really, appreciate for inviting me here for today, and I'm also, very appreciating the Filipino people who are fond of Korean culture and Korean people, and so thank you for everything. Yeah.
I understand, Mr. Lee, that you've just arrived in the Philippines. You're fairly new. You're fairly new to the Philippines. You arrived a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find our country so far?
Yeah, first, it's hot.
So, especially
Yeah,
now
yeah.
compared to in Korea, where it's the dead of winter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even in the winter, it's hot. It's very, so very new to me. But about the food, I like your food like sinigang and flalo and other Filipino foods are so wonderful. I found it very good, and the Filipino people are so friendly and familiar and very emotional. So I just feel like at home in my country, and then and so. Most of all, so I met so many K-pop fandoms and many Korean telenovela lovers. They really enjoy that, so I really appreciate for that.
Yes. let's talk about your work with the Korean Cultural Center. We had a very nice video from the Korean government, which really is showcased the efforts of the Korean government to spread Korean culture and awareness, and also friendship, international friendship, through the arts and culture medium. How big is the organization? I mean, how big is the network of Korean cultural centers?
About the members of my staff, I have 8 staffs and 3 interns and 15 the language and culture teachers.
Okay.
And alongside that, we have the crew, the volunteer members of 50, and other the partners like NCCA and the DEPED and other government officials or offices,
Yeah.
and the kind of some non-government of the organizations like SM, Lifestyles, and so on.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and we have some lectures and the programs. Do I introduce it now or later?
No, I mean, it's okay. But
Yeah.
how big is your organization? I mean, around the world, I mean, how many centers do you have?
So all around the world, we have 31 Korean cultural centers. And the Korean Cultural Center in the Philippines is one of them.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And when were these established? I mean, when did the Republic of Korea government, when did it start this whole program of rolling out Korean cultural centers all over the world?
At first, it was not the Korean Cultural Center. It was only the information service centers around the world. Like the decades of years ago, it was. But after 2000, maybe the late 1990s, it became, many countries requested us to have the cultural centers. That can be the communication, the platform of the Korean culture. So we just began to establish Korean cultural centers. My office, the Korean Cultural Center in the Philippines, was established in 2011, July.
Yes. What is the mission, the main objective of the Korean cultural centers? I mean, obviously, it's to spread Korean culture and promote, the awareness and
Yeah.
Appreciation for your culture.
Yeah,
But I mean,
of course.
aside from this, I mean, what are the other objectives here? I mean, language learning, for instance.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So as you just mentioned about the promoting,
Yes.
about the understanding the Filipinos, I'm sorry, to promote understanding on Korean culture and Korea is our first priority. And alongside that, we provide, can I go one
Yes,
more time?
please.
It's okay.
Yes.
So our first mission would be, as you mentioned, about increasing the understanding of Korea among the Filipinos, and we also provide kind of some star project like the cooperation project. Just for example, we had 2017 this year we had a collaborative mural festival project.
Yes, which we'll talk about in the second segment. But here in the first segment, let's talk about what are the main pillars of the relations between Philippines and Korea, culture-wise. What are the main areas of cooperation?
Cooperation. Okay, so I can say that K-pop and the drama and the movies are the main pillars of the cultural exchange between the two countries. In the Philippines, we have 300,000 fandom for the K-pop. That is the biggest one, and so many people are fond of Korean novella. So this year we have maybe the Goblin, Descendants of Sun, the My Love from the Star. So wonderful. So even me and my wife, just keep watching that repeatedly again and again. And I believe many Filipinos will do that. And also we had the Korean Film Festival. So this is the last October we had it. So it was we invited 120,000 audiences to our film festival. That is one side of our cultural exchange.
Yes.
We also had some kind of collaborative movie project. Like there was a movie collaborated by the Korea and the Philippines.
Yes, yes.
The You With Me. It was the title of the movie, and two male Korean actors and one female actress from Philippines. They show, and it was released in the last September, maybe. Yeah, and also we from time to time, so Korea and the Philippines cooperate with each other in making the films. Like last year, 2016. So there was a movie like Seoul Mate.
Yes.
Yeah, it was made by the Filipino director, supported by Korea.
Okay.
Korean
I mean, so
capital.
you had a collaboration in this project. You had a Filipino director, and what was the Korean participation? Were there also technical people from the Korean side that
They
helped?
funded it.
Okay, the funding came from.
Yeah.
But okay, usually when you have a project like that, what are the conditions? Like it has to be a Korean theme. It has to be Filipino-Korean friendship. What is, or it can be any. It can be any kind of film, basically.
Yeah, I think anything can happen,
Yes.
and then it is up to the the directors and the supporters and the financial
Yes.
the stakeholders. But we have many potentials. The fact is that we have many potentials for the further collaboration between Korean and the Philippine movie industry.
That's actually a very nice area to concentrate because cinema is it's a great way to bring
Yeah.
people together. No,
Yeah, of course.
Visual, it's very entertaining. At the same time, the costs, especially today with independent filmmakers, the costs have come down.
Yeah.
It's not like in the old days when you have to spend a lot of money really to make
Yeah,
a movie.
So we have blockbusters that spend the astronomical the money. But
Yes.
on the other hand, we have independent movie and very low cost movies. So this year, 2008, the Korean Cultural Center in the Philippines is planning to invite independent movies from Korea
Okay.
and show. And then maybe, if possible, we can find a good partner. We may be able to have some workshops for the university students who major the films. Like that will be exchange and collaboration.
Dialogue and
Yeah.
have a joint as you said, workshop to really highlight the strengths of both countries. No? Very artistic people, Koreans like Filipinos.
Yeah. Culture is basically both sides, bilateral things. Not only one sided. The fusion from the one side to the other, it never happens. So the Korean Cultural Center's role is the kind of initiating, supporting, and
Provide a
make some-
platform
Yes, right.
for people to
Platform.
get together.
For the cultural exchange between two people.
Oh, lovely. What makes you think? I mean, like, okay, Korea obviously very famous. I mean, you guys have beautiful films, beautiful independent films, art films.
Yeah.
What makes Koreans so talented in filmmaking? Because I mean, your film, I mean, also commercial. I remember there's a movie, Train to Busan.
Oh, yeah.
It was a horror movie, but it was internationally. It was very, very popular. It made a lot of money overseas, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, the producers, the directors, and the actors who are very famous and popular in these days are my generation. When I was in the high school and the middle school, I was a big fan for the Hong Kong movie, Cantonese movie, A Better Tomorrow, the Chinese Ghost Story. And I was also a big fan of the Japanese animation too. Miyazaki Hayao, the director,
Yes.
I admire him. And at that time, my father and my older generation was so worried about me and my people because you have to stick to your traditional culture and your Korean culture, not too much indulging to the other cultures. Like you have to be aware of that. But my generation, the people who observe the cultures from every
Yes.
aspect of the cultures from other countries, they are leading the global culture.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
And you're infusing this new dynamism
Yeah,
that
of course.
that the current generation has rediscovered, and now it's being channeled to your export, your cultural pop export of the world.
Yeah.
Mr. Lee, we have to pause for a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the collaboration between Philippines and Korea. We'll also talk about this very nice ASEAN ROK mural graffiti project that you had in Bonifacio Global City.
Yeah.
So guys, stick around because more of Philippines-Korea cultural ties when Global Village returns.